topic I know very well is choking under pressure. Because when I was competing, I always choked under pressure. When I was an Olympic weightlifter, I was the guy who could snatch 140 kilos in training and would miss 115 3 times on the platform. When I was bodybuilding, I was the guy who looked great a week out, but then would retain a boatload of water on competition day, even when he was using diuretics. Because I don't respond well to pressure when I'm competing in a sport. Now, some people will be naturally prone to choking, others will actually be potentiated. I'm going to give you an example. There was this CrossFit guy I was working with, and he wanted to do an Olympic weightlifting competition. Now, this guy's best snatch in training was around 265 pounds. So we are at his first competition. And I'm actually a judge at the competition, so I could not be in the warm-up room to look at his warm-up attempts or anything. But I can see in the corner of my eye that he's missing pretty much all of his warm-up attempts, and it's not going well. And he's just pacing back and forth, pacing back and forth. So now we're starting the competition, and the bar is like a 205, 225, 235. He hasn't shown up yet. 245. No opening attempt. 255, 265, which is his personal record, he has not yet made his first attempt. So I figured, well, he missed all of his warm-up attempts, so he probably just not going to compete. No. He opened up at 285, 20 pounds over his PR, and nailed the lift. Then went to 292, made the lift. Then 300, nailed the lift. The guy did 40 pounds more than his PR on the first competition. The guy is a gamer. The guy is potentiated by competition. The guy overperforms when stress is on. He was also a pretty good baseball player because in base there's no sport where you have more pressure than when you're playing baseball. It's you against the pitcher, and you like a success rate of 300 or 30% is good. So there's lots of pressure when you're the hitter. Anyway, he was the kind of guy who almost looked lazy in training, lazy in life, but he was amazing under pressure. When you have other guys like me, for example, who can kill it in training, I'm great in training, but as soon as it becomes competitive, I crumble under pressure. Now, you have people who are great neurologically. It's not psychology, it's neurological. Now, what happens is, you have an optimum performance zone, the optimal level of CNS activation. CNS activation means your neurons are firing fast. When my CNS is activated or is excited, my neurons are firing fast. And when your neurons are firing fast, you're thinking faster, you're reacting faster, you're producing more force, you're better at programming movements. So performance increase. But if activation becomes too high, your performance will start to go down because thinking faster becomes overthinking or paralysis by analysis. Reacting faster becomes overreacting. Creating more muscle force becomes muscle tension. I'm going to give you an example. When I give a presentation, when I give a seminar, my nervous system is here. So I'm overthinking, which actually allows me to create on the spot, make connection on the spot. But it also increases tightness in my flexor muscles. Anxiety, when the nervous system fires too fast, it increases tightness in the flexors. So my hip flexors get tight. I'm a former Olympic weightlifter. I can do a full front squat with perfectly upright position with 400 in my sleep. But when I'm presenting, I can't even do a body weight squat going all the way down because my hip flexors are too tight. When I walk up or down a flight of stairs, my knee hurts. My traps become super tight, swollen, painful. And my shoulders move forward because the pec minor tighten up. So that's why I was always prone to choking under pressure. When I was an Olympic weightlifter, my flexor would tighten up. My brain would go too fast. So when your brain goes too fast, instead of exploding when the bar is in your hips, I exploded too early. When you explode too early, the bar is in front. And because my flexors were tight, I could not reach full extension. I was cutting my pull short. The bar would always end up being forward. I remember last time I did the nationals, I was opening up with a very conservative 115 kilos on the snatch. I missed all 3 attempts. I went to the warm-up room crying, because I cry a lot. And I did 5 reps power snatch with 115. That's how bad I am affected by stress. So if someone cannot control their brain when they're performing under adrenaline, adrenaline and dopamine speed up your brain. Now I'm performing, but if it keeps speeding it up, you're dropping into the choking zone because you cannot control your thinking, your thought process, you become tight, you're overreacting. Now some people, they lack the neurotransmitter that will calm the brain down when it gets too excited. Mostly serotonin. Serotonin brings you back to your optimal level. GABA will just bring you down, but serotonin brings you back to the optimal performance level. So when you have lots of adrenaline, lots of pressure, you get amped up, and when you start to get too amped up to perform, serotonin will bring you back and keep you in that optimal zone. But if you have a lower level of this inhibitory neurotransmitter, when you get amped up and over-amped up, you stay here and then you begin to choke. So that's why you have some people neurologically, they are more prone to being good under pressure, whereas some people are better in training and suck under pressure. So it's a neurological thing. Yes, there are things you can do, but understanding how your brain works will also allow you as a coach to better control the athletes in competition day. If you're working with someone who easily choke under pressure and you're in the warm-up room with them and you're slapping them in the face and then lighting a fire under their ass, it's gonna be worse. Because the reason they choke under pressure is because the nervous system is too amped up. Now I'm slapping you in the face, I'm amping you up even more. If you want to piss me off in the gym, when I'm attempting a heavy bench, go behind me and say, "Come on, Tip, do it!" I will literally slap you in the face. There's nothing, I have always hated when someone tries to amp me up. I could never understand why. The reason is my brain knows it's pushing me outside of the optimal training zone. It annoys the fuck out of me because I know it's going to put me in a zone where I cannot perform. There's already enough pressure as it is when I'm lifting a heavy weight, maxing out. I don't need to be more amped up. I need to be more calm. So when you have someone like me, someone who choke under pressure, you need to calm them down, not amp them up. And if you're a guy like the CrossFit guy I mentioned earlier, these guys, you need to amp them up. If you try to calm them down, they're gonna crumble. So understanding that will allow you to better deal with the client competition day. So it's really important to understand the differences when it comes to handling stress and pressure.